Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is DOUBLE.M, coming to you straight from Africa. On this channel, we'll be reacting to American content. Yes, American content, like everything. You know, America is like a billboard to the entire continent of Africa. You understand? And individually, there's things that I don't understand that are happening in America, or things that America are trying to push on our continent that I don't specifically understand. So at least on this channel, I'll have you guys to explain a few things, to clarify a few things, because I do have my point of views and my beliefs about certain things. So let's not waste time. Let's get to it. Guys, today we'll be speaking about Democrats and Republicans, because as an African, I see those words being thrown around a lot. Yeah, you are left. Hey, you are right. I'm center left. I'm center right. And I don't understand what each word means. So today I'm going to find a video that explains a little bit more or better. And then you guys in the comment section just give out your views, explain what means and how it's like to live in America under these two groups or these two ideas of living. Because hey, I can see in the news it gets down. Let's get down, gets down. So I want to know as well which side, according to my beliefs and ideas, do I lean on? Is it Democrats? Or is it center left? Or is it Republicans? Or is it center right? Or I'm just in the center? I don't know. I'll find out today. And you'll find out today. Let's get to it.
US presidential election is being held this year. Let's be honest, you definitely have noticed the election is plastered absolutely everywhere. Whether you are closely following the election or are forced to see it every day in the news, you would have surely heard the words Republican, GOP, Grand Old Party, or the other major political party, the Democrats or the Democratic Party. Whether or not you live in the United States of America, or live outside it, you may not fully understand what the difference really is between the Republican and Democrat parties' ideologies and what they really stand for. The Republican and Democratic parties are currently the two most popular, powerful, and prominent political parties in the United States.
What? I thought there were only two parties in America. Like only two. Like just two. And this guy just said they are the most popular, which means they are the other ones. Okay. I'm not sure if I believe that. Maybe I have to look into that. Okay, let's continue with the video.
With the history of the Democratic Party starting in 1828, as anti-federalist factions began to form, the Republican Party formed a few decades later in 1854, with the formation of the party based on stopping slavery.
Come on, guys, this gotta be a lie. Oh, maybe in 1854. This guy is saying the Republican Party was started a decade later, and its core beliefs was anti-slavery. They thought slavery was inhumane, and it was. I'm just surprised because when you look at it, this is 2025, and the media tries to push this agenda that the Republicans are this racist and selfish people, and I'm like, okay, if they saw slavery as an inhumane thing and they fought against it and they were anti-slavery, how are they? Okay, maybe it's the difference between the times we live in. So let's continue with the video. Hey, we're learning today, guys.
As they viewed it to be unconstitutional. At the most basic and plainest, politics is said to be split in half, with political parties either traditionally having left or right-wing political views. The left wing is usually associated with progressiveness, supporting those who aren't able to support themselves and believe in equality.
Oh, that's interesting. I like how they phrased it, the first bullet. I like how they phrased it. Like supporting those who are unable to support themselves. Note the second part, who are unable. Because there's different people. Other people like believe in supporting everyone. Understand? I don't believe in that. It creates and supports laziness. And it's against the progressive nature of the country. You understand that? In order for the country to go forward and for the country to strive, we need people who will work hard and smart to create opportunities for themselves and for others while they work on themselves. So I like the fact that they said those who are unable. I like the fact that they said equity. Understand? Yes, equality. The fact that it's a level playing field, which means I'm against supporting people who are fully capable in a level and fair place. You understand that? Okay, let's continue with the video.
On the other hand, the right wing values tradition, believes in equity, economic freedom, and that the everyday individual shouldn't really have to pay for someone else's health service or education through taxes, for example. Essentially, a survival of the fittest society.
Yeah. That just got interesting. I'm a firm believer in tradition. I'm a firm believer in tradition. I also love financial freedom. I believe that people should be financially free because the best way, it's not the old days, the best way to oppress and control people in this modern era, it's having them not be financially free. You understand that? That's why I'm against handing things out. You understand? Because it creates a nation of dependence. And those people, it gets to a point where they can't think for themselves. Do you understand? If a person is fully capable and it's a level playing field, they should go out there and compete. That's how I believe things should be. Survival of the fittest, same thing. I believe in supporting those who aren't capable of supporting themselves, not those who are not supporting themselves. You understand the difference? So, between these two things, I'll go right wing. I'll go right wing. Democrats or Republicans, yeah, you have me. For this one, yeah.
On the political spectrum, the Democrats and Republicans tend to have opposing positions on matters such as the economy, society, military, and other key issues. Both political parties are so large now that it is quite hard to work out where their positions are on certain issues, but there are a few key issues where the opinions are quite apparent. But even then, candidates within the same political party can have slightly differing views on major issues which affect us all.
Yeah. That just got interesting. I'm a firm believer in tradition. I'm a firm believer in tradition. I also love financial freedom. I believe that people should be financially free because the best way, it's not the old days, the best way to oppress and control people in this modern era, it's having them not be financially free. You understand that? That's why I'm against handing things out. You understand? Because it creates a nation of dependence. And those people, it gets to a point where they can't think for themselves. Do you understand? If a person is fully capable and it's a level playing field, they should go out there and compete. That's how I believe things should be. Survival of the fittest, same thing. I believe in supporting those who aren't capable of supporting themselves, not those who are not supporting themselves. You understand the difference? So, between these two things, I'll go right wing. I'll go right wing. Democrats or Republicans, yeah, you have me. For this one, yeah, I'll go right wing.
Taxation. When it comes to taxation and wages, the Republican Party believe that high taxes on the rich is a form of class warfare and that both the poor and the rich should receive tax cuts. As the Republican Party's plans would see the revenue which the federal government collects decrease, the results would be higher debt and deficits. By lowering the taxes for the upper class, these people are more likely to invest in businesses, which in turn creates jobs, making a trickle-down effect. Republicans also oppose raising the minimum wage as it believes it hurts small businesses, who account for a large amount of employment for Americans. Democrats, on the other hand, believe in raising taxes for the upper class and lowering taxes for the middle and lower classes of society.
Okay. On this one, I'm against this one. I believe both parties should be able to have access to tax cuts. The rich and the poor, the rich shouldn't be charged more just because they are rich. It's like punishing a person for doing well. Imagine back in school, you got 90% and you're like, you have to give away 10%. It's a must. And a person got 50% and they're like, you don't have to give away everything or anything. You're like, how? How come? I understand. It promotes, it kind of defeats the purpose. If a person wants to be what do they call that? Okay, never mind, guys. English is my second language. I didn't get that out of the way. English is my second language. I'm from South Africa. We have 11 official languages, and English happens to be one of them. And it's the only language that is foreign. All the 10 are South African and African languages. So you can imagine how that is. So yeah.
allowing the government to boost their spendings on social programs for the lower class. Simply put, Republicans lower tax to benefit the wealthy and big businesses, whereas the Democrats support progressive taxes to help fund social programs and to help out lower income citizens.
This one doesn't look good on the Republican side. I don't know. Maybe they did it like big businesses up, the rich up, and then tax down. And then Democrats, it's like taxes are up and down. They support social programs, of which I'm a staunch believer in that. If those social programs are supporting those who are unable, who are incapable of supporting themselves, the low income families not very much because I don't know, maybe it's because I'm from Africa. I believe America is like there's still this American dream, when everyone can rise above the system and progress and be successful. So if that system still is there, the American dream still exists. Uh okay, yeah. The main thing I liked here is the social programs. The social programs. Sorry about that. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Gun laws. An issue which divides many Americans also divides Republicans and Democrats. Democrats favour more gun control, but recognise that the Second Amendment is an important part of American tradition, and that the right to own and use firearms should be preserved. Reinstating the assault weapon ban and working to make the background check system stronger so that guns aren't getting into the hands of the irresponsible are high up the agenda for the Democrats. The Republicans, on the other hand, oppose gun control laws and go as far to say that they believe you should be able to obtain and store ammunition without registration, and they support the right to self-defense. Voter ID laws.
So on this one, guys, what I will say is criminals will always be criminals. Criminals will always find a way to kill, to murder, to rob, to do whatever. They will always find a way. For an example, let's look at a country like England. They've made it very, very difficult to obtain a gun. You understand? And what did criminals and gangs do? They opted for knives and butchers. They have the highest killing rate when it comes to knives and butchers and other weapons except the gun. So it's the same thing. People will always find a way to do evil. You understand that? And the reason why I believe a country or civilians in the country should be able to have access to guns is that I'm an African. Number one, remember that, guys. And as Africa, we live in Africa. That's why in Africa it's easy to draw away a government. That's why you hear there's a rebel there, there's a rebel there. They just overtook the government, overthrown the government. It's because that nation doesn't have any form of defense from the civilians. The civilians can't really say, no, we're tired of this thing. We don't want any rebel group coming in here shooting our people and raping our kids and women. You understand? It gives them a fighting chance when they have access to ammunitions and guns. You understand? That's why I believe there can't be a rebel group that tries to overthrow the government in America. You can't do that because the patriots would stand up and say no, and they will fight alongside their country to defeat the rebels. You understand? I like that. So on this one, I'm just against the no registration clause. I believe there should be background checks. I believe a person who buys a gun should register, but have the chance to buy the gun. It's just that it has to be recorded that whom and whom bought a gun, whom and whom what, and there has to be a background check. You understand that? Yes. You can't have a person who robbed the bank go and serve a sentence, come back and then sell them a gun again. No, no. There has to be restrictions. Okay, you did 1, 2, and 3. So we won't hinder your rights of getting a gun. But this is the process you will undertake because you are an ex-offender. Get him the gun, but have ways to background checks and limit those with mental problems and whatever to get a hold of those guns because they might do something crazy. Real crazy.
The Republican Party is currently pushing for elections to require photo identification for voting to, in their words, prevent election fraud. Between 2000 and 2012, there were 867 cases of voter fraud, but the Republicans want this to be zero. The Democrat Party are complete opposites on voter identification laws, saying that they believe everyone has the right to vote, making them in opposition of laws which begin to put restrictions on those trying to vote. According to the Democrats, introducing photo identification would affect young voters, people of colour, low-income families, those with disabilities and the elderly, which is a large number of voters who wouldn't be able to vote and have their opinion heard.
You have to identify your voters. You have to identify your voters. If you're saying there shouldn't be an identification process for a person who's voting, that's a problem, a big one. Understand? Like recently in the news, I saw that America is facing a problem when it comes to illegal immigration. You understand that? So, which means all those illegal immigrants that just came in can just decide where the country should go. No, only citizens of the country should vote and decide where the country should go. And there has to be form of identification or ID. You understand? You have to be American to vote for America. It's just how it is. Unless you can add a law, if you held a green card for this long, if you've had a passport for this long, if you've lived in America for this long, you can then become a citizen, and then it's then when you can be eligible to vote. So, but I believe in a form of identification, because without that, it creates a lot of problems, guys. It creates a lot of problems.
Pro-life versus choice. As I'm sure you can begin to tell, the Republican Party is very much influenced through religion and tradition, which should make it no surprise that they support the government restricting abortions. The Republicans believe that unborn children should have the fundamental right to live, which cannot be taken away from them. The Democrats, on the other hand, support Roe v. Wade and believe that a woman should have the right to make her own decisions about her pregnancy, and that politicians and the government have no right to get involved with a woman's pregnancy. The Democrat Party also wants to help reduce the number of unwanted pregnancies through better sex education, which should then help decrease the need for abortions.
This is where it gets tricky. Because I'll speak on my beliefs. I believe that a person should be able to terminate pregnancies during a certain period. Yeah, during a certain period, whether given weeks to say, okay, before 3 weeks you can, but after 3 weeks you can't. But only to those who got pregnant under bad circumstances, like you got raped, you got pregnant from a father, a brother, because people are evil out there. It's things that happen, and it's things that we don't talk about. So what would that person do? What can that person do? Because the child would be here, and the person would be looking at the child to say, you came from my rape. I hate I despise your father. You understand that? So I believe under those circumstances, a person should be able to get an abortion. Or that person is in a process where the pregnancy, it's a threat to her life. Understand? They can then decide to say, okay, I choose termination. You understand? They should choose. But when it comes to fucking around, doing this and that, no. I believe it creates problem because people just go out there, do things because they believe they can get away with it. We understand that. So that's not good. So I'm speaking about my beliefs. So I will side with whoever is close to my belief. And in this one, it looks like it's the Republican. Yeah.
STD rates are hitting all-time highs in the USA, so putting work into sex education is something which the Democrats believe will benefit society greatly. Same-sex marriages. Being very traditional and religious-based, the Republican Party wants to not recognise same-sex relationships, with the party aiming to constitutionally define marriage as one man and one woman. The Republicans also have the viewpoint that same-sex couples should not be able to adopt children.
I don't even have to listen to what the other option is. I agree fully with what I just heard. fully, you understand, I'm traditional, I'm Christian, you understand that. I don't believe in same-sex marriage, both African traditionally and Christian like. I don't believe in it. And I don't believe that same-sex couples should be able to adopt children. You understand? Because they create a confusing and a bad, because I believe a kid needs a feminine and masculine energy to fully develop into a fully sane human being. You understand that? So to have this, no, no, no. I'm Republican on this one. I'm Republican on this one.
Democrats oppose same-sex discrimination on the federal and state level and believe that same-sex couples should receive the same amount of respect and legal treatment as heterosexual couples. In fact, it was under the Democratic Obama administration that Section 3 of the Defense of Marriage Act, which defined marriage as a union between a man and a woman, was found to be unconstitutional, a decision which was ruled by the Supreme Court on June 26, 2013. Limit of government. Republicans have positioned themselves into believing that a smaller government is better, with Republicans preferring themselves to have less responsibilities in society, and that they should let people and companies fail or succeed based on their merits and actions, instead of the government intruding. The Republican Party don't like policies which essentially allow the government to have the power to pick and choose the winners and losers of the market, instead letting economies and businesses speak for themselves. The Democrats, on the other hand, believe that the federal government should have a strong role in helping Americans with the challenges they face, whether it be through regulating businesses, being more involved with healthcare, benefits, or other programs which help assist Americans in need. This sees Republicans usually called supporters of a small government and the Democrats supporters of a big government, although the Republican Party can sometimes have big government stances on some issues, such as abortion issues, but the Republican Party establishment tends to have small government viewpoints when it comes to economics and society. All in all, the Democrat and Republican parties are quite different when it comes to key points, but this is what happens when you find yourself in a two-party political system, as it would not make sense for there to be two similar parties fighting for the same issues with the same stances. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to SciBright.
I'll go Republican. Yeah, I'm saying if I was American, I would vote Republican based on this. And I understand that there's more to voting Republican than just being Democrats and be Republican, because sometimes you get a candidate that is flip-flopping around and you don't even understand what's going on. So you might vote different. But if I get a president who strongly believes in those core elements they've just mentioned here, I believe I'd be Republican. So the next video we'll be looking at what's a Republican in real life and what's a Democrat in real life. Because I can't just decide from one video and be like, oh, I'd be voting Democrats or I'd be voting Republican. I still have to learn more about this. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining me in this channel. Go to the comment section. Tell me what's more. Tell me, share on videos that I can or will react to. And yeah. Hey guys, thank you very much for joining me. Go hit that subscribe and like button and go to the, don't forget to go to the comment section and share with me videos that I should react to and enlighten me more, because I can't just decide from this video. I still have to see more content and learn more about these two parties. And if there's anything you want me to react to, if there's anything you want me to learn about America, go to the comment section and share with me. Go share with an African, man. I really want to learn about America. I really want to learn about what America is like, besides the things that we see in the media. So let's go. See you on our next video. Ciao.